You're a born survivor. Born survivor. Natural predator. Born survivor. You're a born survivor.
lied. I'm sorry, guys. Hello, one and all, and welcome to our grand finale of Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Experimenting, exploring the side stories. Now, I don't know how long these will take, but we have every side story here ready to go, and I'm honestly really upset that we're at the end of the game. I really don't want to finish this game because I love it so much, which is problematic. Let me adjust my camera slightly. Nope, camera. Well, that's not very well adjusted, is it? That's more of an action shot than a piece of rubbish. There we go. Maybe just up a tad. How are we all today, guys? I hope you're all doing absolutely well. You're looking amazing. Just a little bit of a grub. Let me just... There you go. That should look a lot better. How you guys doing? Before we start, let's get into a few things. Last time, we deleted Monica. We finished the main game. You guys may remember I was telling you about Haruki, my OC, throughout that story. Throughout the chapter. Sayori's story and the end chapters. Guys, the draft for that story is now complete. You guys can now read for yourself how Haruki goes through the story, which I will just put into the link here. It's up on Wattpad, guys, where you guys can now go and, see how his side stories are. So his side stories are the reflection of his weekend with the alternate girl to win take and the saving of Sayori. Granted, the titles I gave them are a little long. I think their dubbed titles would be A Slice of Life for Yuri, would be called Consideration. Where the Heart is, for Natsuki, would have renamed Safety. And Sayori's story with him, No Place in Hell, would be renamed Savior. Now, I also, before we go on, I want to do a massive shout out right now. Actually, let's first, you guys saw it during the opening there. I want to give a shout out to Mika Moonbeam. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to Arcadia, where the doors are open and the games are on. We hope you enjoy your stay with us. And let's also get you, my friend, a good old shout out. Now, Mika is a new streamer. I believe this last stream that we went into was their first one. So let's see what they got up to.
Did this last time and got rid of everything at once.
They were playing Surgeon Simulator.
What did you do? They got his liver. How did he die? Oh my god.
I guess you could say you delivered that. Okay. Now, a really big shout out I want to give here, okay? This is a massive shout out. Because I wasn't too well yesterday. People that watch my stream may have realized I was not too mentally well. And then a commission came through. So I want to give a massive shout out. Oh. You know it's good definition when it's like massive. Well, you can see their name here. Nameless Oracle. Or Unknown Oracle. Unfortunately, they haven't got any clips yet. You guys may remember we played with Nameless Unknown during the Dead by Daylight collab stream. Let's give a massive shout out to them for this beauty. If you guys aren't already following them, please go and follow them on their Twitter, Nameless Oracle. They do amazing art. For those that don't remember, they've also done a Genshin Impact one of me and my friends, which I'm really thankful for. They're really well priced, really talented at what they do. They're good at their communication. They made sure everything was right, basically, before finalizing the design. And I went in to ask the collab with no idea of the pose. I gave them a rough idea of how they would react as a couple, and this is what came of it. So, as I say, if you guys aren't following Unknown Oracle, oh, it links to me because they're not here. I don't like that about this, the bot, that it will link to my channel if they're not here. But Unknown Oracle, Nameless Oracle, go give them some love. They well on deserve it, okay? So this would be post-game. This kind of image, this kind of shit, would be what happens when the player leaves. And Sayori can no longer be with the player because the player's found other games to play. Haruki will look after her. He'll look after everyone. That's his job. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let's set up some music. Make sure the sound's fine. I'm muted, aren't I? Oh, thank God I'm not muted this entire time. But is it the right microphone? I'm seeing a red light on my microphone, and it is saying it's the Yeti stereo, so we should be good here. Let's bring down the image. In fact, no, let's not take the image away. Let's put it where we can see it, because I want that up there. And let's start the first side story. Now we're going to start at the bottom, because Monica and Sayori is the one I want to do last. Let's go. It's only been a day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki, with Monika's help. Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she needs to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. And because of the passing of 5 students, making her feel even more anxious, Yuri picked up the most secluded spot she could find to spend her lunch. Because the staircase is under maintenance, no students would have any reason for coming here. It's such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day. Huh? What are you doing here? Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Well, what are you doing here? Can we get a drink from the vending machine? The other one's out of the drink I like. Yuri notices Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki, also looking away, shuffles over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seem to reverberate through the entire stairwell. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets with in a place of the coins. It's some kind of iced tea, but instead of leaving right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around her. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant, really. I mean, it's totally cool that it's your thing, or whatever. I can see how it suits you, so, not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean anything like that. I'm just gonna stop talking. That seems like a good idea. It's okay. Everything's okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits down near Yuri. Well, I can leave if you want. Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twists the cap off her drink and takes a sip. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything more. Yuri continues to read, or at least pretends to. And the two just sit there for a long time. The tension seems to fade a little as time passes. Even without any words, this seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what it may be. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Natsuki's the first to stand up, with her empty drink bottle. Are you coming today? To the club? Yuri nods. I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad about talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason. I don't know why. But I want to, eventually. There's no rush. I promise. Thanks. It's the next day. Natsuki appears from around the corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does so. Today, she seems to be holding some kind of book as well. Oh, you're here again. Well, I just came here to read this because there aren't any people around here. Oh, I thought you didn't like how quiet it was. Well, I don't, but there's no people here. I see. Natsuki sits down. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. I'm going to tell myself up just a tad, and I'm going to turn the game down a tad. Oh. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other. Although Yuri's letter still lingers in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to detour around it. But it's okay that I'm here? Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't feel like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, they all assumed I stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not like I'm trying to hide it from them exactly. But I just don't want it to come up again now. After I've waited so long for this new volume to come out. Literally months at this point. You don't have other friends who are into manga? Not unless online friends count. And Sayori, but that's different because she's not exactly into it. She just likes it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Honestly. You're lucky that the books you're into at least look like books. You don't have to feel like everyone's constantly judging you by what you're reading. That would be awful. Especially since I hate attention so much. Well, it's a good thing I have thick skin, I guess. By the way, I totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already. If you're like me and have no one to share your hobbies with. Oh, I have online friends. Since middle school, actually. I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about those days. Sometimes I feel like the me from a few years ago would have benefited from a good smack in the face. Oh, whatever. We were all stupid kids back then anyway. Some of the fanfics I wrote, I used the pseudonym. But I liked it at the time. Got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I've become a better person since then. So, I don't think I would change anything. I wonder if a few years from now, we'll think the same thing about our current selves. Probably. That doesn't make you uncomfortable? No, of course not. I don't care what other people think of me. Especially someone who doesn't even exist yet. Alright, here. Natsuki raises her hand to her face and forcefully slaps her in cheek. That's me from the future. Coming to terms with me right now. Oh, so ow. Oh, didn't mean to do it that hard. Yuri doesn't seem to react. But then, to Natsuki's surprise, Yuri shyly looks the other way before lifting her arm and doing the same to herself, loudly smacking her cheek. She turns red and stares into her lap, but is unable to hide a smile, as though it was a really funny joke. Oh my god! That's what I'm talking about. Didn't know you had it in you. I don't. I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I thought it would be funny. Sorry I kept distracting you. You said you were looking forward to reading, but I keep going on about all this nonsense. I'll let you get to reading. Oh, right. Don't lie, you want to hang out together. Yeah, I guess I'll do that then. The conversation ends quickly, and Natsuki opens her book. The two read silently for the remainder of the lunch hour. But the whole time, Yuri feels distracted by a twist of regret over having so abruptly forced the end of the conversation. You're back. Yeah, I'm here to lay low again. Another day has passed. During lunchtime, Natsuki finds herself having wandered to the stairwell once more. Hey, did you buy that? Natsuki quickly notices a bottle of iced tea on the staircase, where she normally sits. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact, my babies. What, like, for me? But you didn't know I was coming today. What if I didn't show up? Well, I just mean, I would have drank it myself, I guess. It was a stupid thing to do. No, it wasn't stupid. I just thought... Never mind. What I meant to say is thank you. And that's a really nice gesture. It's okay if you don't feel that way. I do! It was the other things that I didn't mean. I swear, please believe me. Yuri pauses, then nods. Talking is hard. I get it wrong a lot too. So, I believe you. Natsuki exhales in relief. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes the drink. Knowing Yuri, she was probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tepid response filled her with self-doubt. I'll do something nice for you next time. Please, don't feel obligated. I want to. I want to do nice things too. Okay. Thank you. You can thank me after I figure out how to do something nice. I'll do it then, too. Natsuki sighs. Nothing. It just reminds me how I've been getting along with my friends lately. Is that why you've been coming here? Well, no. Not exactly. I haven't been avoiding them on purpose or anything. They're just other things I'd rather be doing during lunch lately. I like being around them when we're all just having fun, but they also just can't take anything seriously. So when I'm, I don't know, feeling serious, then their attitudes just really get on my nerves. It's only gotten worse since I joined the literature club. How come? I don't know. I feel like I used to be really good at just putting up with it. Because it'd be so stupid to cause drama over a joke or something I didn't like. But I just have a hard time doing that lately. It's my fault for being overly sensitive. If I have a problem, I'm not going to demand for everyone around me to change. Yeah, I know. Monica and Sayori don't agree with that kind of thing. But they're not in my position, so it's easy for them to say what they should, communicate feelings or whatever. It's not like my friend group's the only one that does that kind of thing. I would just be making an embarrassment of myself. Sorry, none of this has to do with you. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's okay. I like listening. What? Listening to other people's problems? Yes. That's weird. But sorry. I just like learning about people. Do you think it's weird? No. That's not weird. I probably just misunderstood, so I don't know. Does that mean I should keep going? If you'd like. Okay. Well, I don't know what to talk about now. What are some things you like about your friends? Oh, a lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with, like after schools on the weekends. And they really like my baking. And it's fun to complain about school together. They make me laugh a lot, and we have a lot of good memories and inside jokes. Oh? I'm bad at a lot of those things. So? Are those things important to you? Well, kind of, but they're not the things that I need to get out to everyone. Everyone in the club's really different from that. But I'm still friends with them too. Well, Sayori really likes your baking. And she makes you laugh. And she complains a lot. It doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends. well, unlike them, she's a nice person who cares about your feelings. Excuse me? Wait, you don't talk away that way about my friends when you don't know anything about that. Natsuki stands up. No, wait. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to say something bad. Please don't leave. Natsuki sighs and shakes her head. It's fine. As long as you understand that you can't just judge people like that. I'm sorry. Natsuki sits back down. You can't just compare friends like that and measure who's better. Everyone's different. I'm sorry. I just don't like people who want to hurt you. A moment of silence stretches between them. They don't want to hurt me. We just like to tease each other about stupid things. It's fun. I don't like that. Well, that's why I'm friends with them and you're not. You like it? Just don't worry so much about me. It's not worth it. I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to help you with social conflicts. Like how Monica can. She's good at these things. Not really. Also, I don't always want help. Sometimes it's just stuff I have to deal with myself. That's what Monica and Sayori never understand. Sometimes all you do is look at them wrong and they're like, "Aw, what's wrong? Is everything okay?" I just want to mind my own business sometimes and decide myself if I want to talk about things. Anyone that understands that is you. You really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You're not as bad as you think. Oh, you don't need to reassure me or anything. I mean that. Plus, it makes sense that someone who doesn't talk a lot would make a good listener. Thank you. You're also nice. It's really hard for me. It doesn't come out naturally at all. It's so weird, because I always thought of myself as someone who can just say whatever's on my mind. But I feel like that only works when I'm annoyed or upset, or if I want to say anything mean. Why am I like that? You don't have to answer, I'm just talking to myself. Yuri nods and remains silent. Natsuki notices her fidgeting with the pages of her book. How come you like reading so much? Oh, well, a lot of reasons. But I just get sucked into it so easily. It's so immersive. Like, I want to be a part of it. I think there are a lot of things about people in real life that make me feel uncomfortable and frustrated. Especially when it comes down to following social conversations and group interactions. I just don't really understand it, and I have no real desire to participate. But it's different with books. It feels like I always want to be around the characters. I feel such a strong emotional connection with them in ways that I've never felt with real people. So, in that way, it can sometimes feel more real than real life. Really? Is that hard for you to be around people, like, all the time? Mm-hmm. Fairly often, especially in group settings. When people are making all kinds of conversation or saying jokes, and all of that, I don't know what to do. I just disengage. Oh, that doesn't get lonely? I don't think so. I can still enjoy spending time with people one-on-one. And I have online friends too, of course. Do you ever wish you could be friends with the characters in your books? All the time. Sometimes so badly it makes my heart ache. No! Why are you doing this to me? Yeah, me too. Really? Mm-hmm. A lot. Like, more than anything. After Natsuki mutters, silence fills the stairwell once more. But it's a mutual silence. One full of understanding. Hey. Oh, hello. I almost thought you weren't coming today. Yeah, well, Lunch is already more than halfway over. Natsuki had typically been meeting with Yuri in the stairwell much earlier, since it had been a good way of dodging her friends, and she didn't feel like seeing them. Today, she's holding a large plastic container in both hands. I ran to my friends, so I hung out with them for a while. Is that so? Yeah. I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I haven't seen them in a while, which I had to come up with an excuse for, but I expected that. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with, so I figured I'd share them with you too. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of her container. You make cupcakes. You know it. It's been a while at this point, so I figured it was about time again. You can take one if you want. Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it between her fingers. It's brown, with dark green frosting, immaculately shaped into a floral pattern, and topped with some kind of glittery powder. How pretty. I just ate, so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? Yeah, I guess so. No, I didn't even really think about it, I just made them. I just thought because green is Monica's favorite color, right? Yeah, but that's not really... Yuri takes a small bite. This is green tea flavored. I love green tea. That's Alto. Teams of Alto, are you really confirming this? Oh, my heart. Oh, my heart. Oh, you do you? It was a random idea I wanted to try, so, don't laugh at me. I'm not. I just felt happy. Oh, sorry. Usually when... Never mind. What I mean is that I'm glad. Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just want to do something nice. And this is something I happen to be good at. And I do know that you like them. From past experiences. Yuri turns red, recalling the time she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes. Ironically, her mouth was too full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she just settles for the disapproving look. How did you get into baking? Oh well, I don't know. It always just kind of appealed to me. It's not like I was coded with it. Well, a few years ago, I read this one manga with a lot of baking, so I got super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day. But it's something that I knew I always liked anyway. It's like, baking is like an art. But when you get good at it, it gets more delicious too. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting heart into something so artistic, knowing that it would be eaten afterwards. Yeah, maybe you're too practical for it. I think I prefer to be on the receiving end. That's my other favorite part about it. It's something that I can do to make a lot of people happy, like, unconditionally. Like, everyone's always so thankful, and in that moment, you get to be like the bringer of joy. I don't know, it just makes you feel valued? Yeah, I guess that. So, were you able to make up with your friends today? There wasn't really anything to make up with. We weren't fighting or anything. You what? Maybe I misunderstood. It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool, and that's unnecessary drama. It would only just make things worse. So they're not going to stop? I mean, it only happens sometimes anyway. It's just the way they are. I'm the only one that has a problem with it. So, it's not worth it. Especially since I don't have any... Especially since I have somewhere to go now and I don't feel like hanging out with them. Oh, I see. The cupcake's empty foil wrapper audibly crinkles as Yuri clenches a fist. I'm glad the situation is resolved, and that you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah, me too. And I don't have to bother you during your time alone anymore. I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on. Yeah. Just say it, Yuri. I know that cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me. But it's the best I can do. So, you can have the rest of them. Natsuki grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet. Yuri stares at the box. She then shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends. But I made them for you. Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I know. And I like them very much, exactly as you thought. You succeeded. But I know you care about making your other friends happy too. And if this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it away from you. No, they were making you happy. You make me happy. You're worth more than a cupcake to some people. That's why I want to spend time with you. Oh, my babies. And be your friend. Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing in her arms. Natsuki? I'm such a bad person. Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes. You didn't. I just... Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to speak through them. I just really hate myself sometimes. And it feels so wrong when you say these nice things to me. Like, I don't deserve it. I'm sorry. No, I am. I'm so difficult. And I can't think of a single time, give a single thing about myself that someone would like. You're feisty for the thing you believe in. You're a cautious and loving person. You're a small bean who deserves head pats. And I hated myself for bothering you during lunch. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person. Like, to be nice and do the things you wrote about in the letter. I knew if I tried the club, Sayori and Monica would be super annoying and make a huge deal out of it. You know, I think a lot of these negative things about myself. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinize everything I say. And later, I feel like I said all the wrong things. And I just spend so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. So, I understand some of that from my own experience. And that's why I wanted to write the letter and express my feelings. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw in myself. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri ruffles her bag and pulls out some tissues, then hands them to Natsuki. Monica told me it takes a good person to reflect on these things. The desire to improve yourself. That's what makes you a good person. So don't worry so much. Also, there are things about you that people would like, so... Like what? Like how you're fun for people to be around. And you're not shy, and you know how to make people laugh. And you're very passionate about the things, and you know how to take the lead. You care a lot about other people, and just a lot of things. Oh. Well, now you're making me feel rather embarrassed. Well, you're the one who asked. And do you think I feel embarrassed? Natsuki tries to hide a smile. She sighs as it fades again. Every time I come here, I think it's the last time. But then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? It's just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so ditching them all the time feels like, I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet. Maybe I'm scared they'll get mad at me. I really don't know what to do. She pauses. Yuri stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tiles while she thinks to herself. What would you do, hypothetically, if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you? Happy for what? Happy that your new club is making you happy. Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical. Natsuki says that, with a little confidence in her voice. I always told myself that I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy. And I still feel that way, but I'm spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval. That's probably what's making me feel so confused. Because I'm threatened out of things that should make me happy. So no matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be happy. It's making my head hurt. That must make it really difficult to be comfortable with yourself. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are? It really goes against everything I believe, doesn't it? It goes against the kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with a lot of things. Natsuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head. I know what's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so much easier to be comfortable and happy than it is to do something so scary. To do what? You know, to end it. With them? Natsuki nods. I didn't think you were actively considering that as an option. I wasn't, until recently. It's just one of those things where, like, it's been a certain way for so long, you just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gone into it. So much that it feels like that's just how your life is. And throwing it away is like throwing away a big part of your life. It makes me so sick to think about. Natsuki sighs. It's just really scary. It's terrifying. What are you scared of? I don't know. A lot of things. Like being alone. Not having anyone to talk or hang out with. Not being able to replace what I have with them. Monica, Doki, Doki. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Arcadia, where the doors are open and the games are on. We hope you enjoy your stay. Hope you're having a lovely day today. We're currently finishing off Doki Doki Literature Club, doing the side stories. And I don't want them to hate me. And I'm scared they'll hurt me for going against them. Physically? Not physically, but... Yuri clenches her fist. Natsuki, what if anyone ever thinks to cause you harm? I will unleash hell upon them. And she would! Yuri's the kind of person that will hold Natsuki close and be like, I've only had Natsuki for 5 minutes. But if something was to... Hang on a second. But if something was to happen to her, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself. Just like me with a certain someone. That is an ooh moment, ooh, right? Hang on a second. Put that one back. Nice and gentle so I don't mess up any wires. Do you know what? I'm going to lower the camera and we are going to bring our little mascot back out. Give me a second. She deserves to be out. So let me get her stand. You know what? I can use a mug. I could use a tiny Tina mug. Oh, she fell over. You poor little thing. In you go. Oop. There we go. Now I've got to try and adjust the camera just to make this kind of like, so I'm sitting and it's not going to cut my head. There we go. Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me. Sorry, I like that. That's all. Oh, well, I meant it. I know you did. Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look. I needed it. So, Monica, I'm supposing you know this game in its entirety at this point. Or have you only played like the original one? As the conversation lapses, Natsuki again slides the box of cupcakes over to Yuri. Just take them, okay? I don't want to be able to have them anymore. Are you sure? I'm going to return to the voices now, sorry, because I was getting tearful, which is why I couldn't do them. Natsuki nods. I'm sure. I will then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her. She holds on to that feeling, knowing that it will give her courage. Ah, you're first here today. Mm-hmm. And you brought reading material? Mm-hmm. Natsuki is sitting in her usual spot, this time holding a volume of manga, while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well, and opens her book. It sucks when a good series comes to an end. Natsuki! For God's... So we had Yuri talking about falling in love with a fictional character, or wanting to be friends with a fictional character. Hi. And now we have Natsuki saying about basically what's happening here after this stream. A good series coming to an end. Why you like this game? It's like such a big part of your life, and then one day there's just nothing left. It makes you feel so empty. Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of the series. Please, Team Savalto, can we get the Book of Markarov RPG sooner rather than later? That sucks. But there's also something satisfying about letting a story conclude. I don't know if I'd want it to go on forever. Maybe. But there's some things I wish I could. On the other hand, have you ever read something that's overstayed its welcome? Yeah, definitely. Naruto! I can think of at least one I've read that got pretty unbearable like halfway through, and the ending really sucked. So, it sucks when something good has to end, but it also sucks when they keep inventing more plot until you don't like it anymore. Overwatch! Sorry. I don't know what's going on. I guess it sucks either way. Well, that's the nature of all things. They come to an end. The two fall silent. They slowly eat while making their way through their respective reading material. Except, Natsuki doesn't seem to be touching her food at all. You don't go out during the weekends, right? Excuse me? Like, with friends, at the mall, downtown, or whatever. I'm not a total shut-in, you know. No. My bad for making assumptions. Well, I'm sure I go out less than other people like you and the others in the club. I don't really meet with friends and arbitrarily spend time like that. I'm usually meeting up with my board game group. Board game group? It doesn't matter, it's just more nerdy stuff. Why do you ask anyway? I was just curious. I realized I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious. I want to put a... what they called when it's not a cannon, a fanon. What do they call them when it's a fan cannon? Do you guys think Yuri would be part of a D&D group? Because I really want to see a D&D inspired version of the Dokis, including Haruki up there. And in fact, when I have enough money, that is planned for a commission. Haruki is a ranger, Sayori is a cleric, probably Monica as a paladin, because she would see her own justice. Natsuki as a brawler, as a fighter, or barbarian, and Yuri as a mage, or a wizard, or a warlock. Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she's shaking. Don't look at me like that. Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees into her chest and puts her head down. I can't take this. Did I do something? Yuri gets flustered, her mind racing over what she might have said or done. I did. I ended it. I texted them earlier telling them, and then I just blocked them because I'm so afraid of the response. Now it feels like I'm dying inside. Oh, that's... I'm sorry. Totally unsure of what to do. Yuri can barely find any words of support to offer. Meanwhile, the sound of Natsuki's unusually hard breathing fills the air. Then, she speaks again, barely above a whisper. Help me. I feel sick and I want to be hit. I want to hit my head against things. So please, help. I can't take this. You may be having a panic attack. That is 100% a panic attack. With that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experienced this, so I'll help you, okay? Natsuki meekly nods through her rapid breath, head still buried in her knees. Yuri slides herself over to Natsuki and sits on the step behind her. She then puts her hands on Natsuki's shoulders. Can you feel my hands? Natsuki nods, her shaking becoming more apparent through Yuri's sense of touch. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. You're safe now. You're in a good, safe place, where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more. Although Yuri is only touching Natsuki's shoulders, she can practically feel her racing pulse through the base of her neck. I think this is hurting me because this is exactly what I needed when I was having a panic attack in the past, like through school and everything. But I never had friends for it. We'll do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breaths and breathe along with me. Let's breathe in now. Yuri takes a deep, slow breath. Beneath her hands, she feels Natsuki's shoulders rise as Natsuki takes a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. They exhale together, though Natsuki's breath shakes on the way out. That's good. Let's keep going. Yuri breathes in once more, and Natsuki joins her. They continue like that for a few more cycles while Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Yuri's palms. Let's focus on the physical world. All you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breaths going in and out, and the weight of my hands on your shoulders. You're in a safe and comfortable physical space. Minutes pass in silence. By now, the worst of it is past, but Yuri is determined to not move away until Natsuki prompts her. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off her knees, and her breathing has mostly steadied. She then takes a deep breath and slowly pulls herself to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to freak out. I don't know what my deal is. You don't have to apologize. This must be enormously stressful for you. Is that going to keep happening? It may, or it may not. We can take measures to help prevent it in the future, but I think it will naturally get better over time. Natsuki motions to sit back down again, so Yuri moves over. Yuri turns away to pick up her open book from the dusty floor, which she had hastily set down earlier. She brushes the dust off the cover. I don't think I could have gotten through that alone. You're not alone. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks into her own lap. From now on, you don't have to do anything alone. As she says this, Yuri tenses up. It's rare for her to be so openly showing her thoughts, but something of Natsuki, of all people, makes it so much more natural to do so. Perhaps because, like Yuri, Natsuki is timid and uncertain of herself. Natsuki does such a good job at hiding it that it's taken long for Yuri to finally realize it. And because of that, Yuri is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted, demonstrating that you deserve love of others. If you can accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin the tumultuous journey of learning to love yourself. Oh, look at them! Oh, look at them! Do you mean that? You're probably going to regret that if you do. How so? Because I'm probably going to have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. So, you're giving me permission to be as annoying as I want and drag you around a lot of places. I see. But you already said it, so you can't take it back now. Ah, well, I suppose I have no choice but to accept that responsibility then. I know a good ice cream place. Oh? That means you finally figured out my favorite ice cream flavor? Huh? What are you talking about? No, you don't remember? The first day you came to the club. You guessed everyone's favorite ice cream flavor. But for me, you said you had no idea. Seriously? I don't remember that at all. Oh, wait, yes I did. I said it was probably green tea. Yuri shakes her head. It's a good guess, but my usual favourite is usually to get chocolate and raspberry together. Chocolate and raspberry? How fancy. How was that fancy? Oh, I don't know. I feel like I should have guessed something like that. Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry. Huh? Strawberry is my favourite. Mm-hmm. What a coincidence. Oh my god. I think it helps to have something to look forward to. I still have the sick feeling in my stomach, but it's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing. Is there anything I could be doing? Not that I know of. There's nothing that will make this easy for me. And you already did more than enough than anyone could. Come to think of it, we never talked about the letter you wrote. But I feel like we're way past it at that point. I don't even know what to talk about. Except, I think that it helps me to understand your needs a little bit better. The way I like to be treated. And the kind of friends I want to have. That's why I wanted to start coming here in the first place, even though I was scared of causing more problems. I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me here initially. Not exactly. What do you mean? Nothing. I may have tracked you down first, with the help of Sayori. But you said I was shy, okay? I wasn't really like, whatever, you know what I'm saying. Well, I guess I'm glad you worked up the courage, even if it was in your own way. I can tell you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave, and it'll make things better in the long run. I think anyone would be proud of you for it. Anyone? You mean, like, you? Yes, like me. You know, I could get used to this. As long as you don't tease me too much. Fine. Just a little, then. That's fine. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now. But I really do think the good things are in store. Those are my honest feelings. Thanks. Feels nice to be reassured. The two girls continue their conversation through the remainder of lunch, but a new feeling hangs in the air. A feeling of greater certainty in the path forward. In just a few hours, there'll be another literature club meeting where the 4 club members will happily spend time together. So yeah, this is all before you join. This is pre you joining, okay? That's what confirms it there. We're the 4 club members. Each of them, all with their own special qualities, have something unique, what they can deliver to one another. Through friendship and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. The end of each chapter is the start of next, Yuri thinks to herself. Since she's about to finish her long-running series, it'd be best to have a new book lined up. Perhaps this weekend would be a good time to visit the bookstore. Together. And that's maybe where she gets Book of Makarov. Holy crap, though! Look at them! Look at them! Right, I need to be right back, guys, because I didn't get any tissues for this. Oh my god. Oh, that's so sweet. I will be right back. Bloody hell! I didn't expect it to be this sweet. It is so sweet. Oh my god. Hello Alex and hello Lucina, how you doing? Oh. Am I bothering you? Huh? No. Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. How are you both, by the way, today? Lucina, how was day 1 of the con? That makes sense. I guess if you're in the first place, then you're more than ready to socialize, even if it takes a little bit of prodding. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work. So it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and then. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or everyone's being too silly for me to keep up with. Yuri glances across the room at Sayori and Natsuki. Sayori has her head cocked back with her mouth open, trying to catch a piece of cookie that Natsuki is lobbing in the air, but the pieces keep bouncing off her face and hitting the floor. Oh, I want artwork of it. I want artwork of it. Maybe I should say something. No need. They just ran out of cookie. What a waste. They've really become good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Sayori seems particularly good at making that happen. But the two of them are both on the energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. Yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had any chance to talk one-on-one, have we? I thought it may be particularly my fault, since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members. Not at all. I probably formed a habit of drawing minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me, at least to display some openness to engage. Well, what about during your time, during times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? I just read. Oh, but I like it that way. But yeah, how was the con? How was the convention? Hopefully it was quite well for you. It feels nice to be carried off after a morning of classes. Do you always read fantasy? Oh, not always. I suppose it's all I've read recently, but only because I'm in the middle of the series. There are still 2 more books after this one. I guess those long books suit you well, since you like spending so long reading them. Well, fantasy might be my favorite, but after that, I'm more or less indiscriminate to genres. I read anything with depth and maturity. Oh yeah? Even romance? Well, there are a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh, come on, Yuri, you know what I mean. Monica lowers her voice. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anyone if you do. She reads smut! Ooh. Maybe more when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely and people would be mean to me a lot. So it just kind of felt like, please don't make me think about the past. Good pics put on Discord and Insta. Let's get Cynthia ready for tomorrow. Well, hopefully this will be some nice background noise if you want to get it ready. Sorry. I just got super curious. You know, we should totally pick up a romance novel to read. It'd be so much fun. Absolutely not. Really? Even just between us? Try to ask someone that has no shame like Suki. Ouch. Sorry, I swear I didn't mean it like that. I guess it was my fault for pressing you. I'm like that for a few things in my past too, you know, feeling embarrassed to re-experience. There's nothing wrong with going out of things. It happens to everyone. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite a bit of how intense I used to be for those interests. It makes me think that she'll likely grow out of it too. Hey, you guys talking about me? No, we were just talking about how our interests have changed over the years. And to get into manga, Natsuki. Like a couple of years ago, I guess. I was sort of into it before, but it wasn't really going hard until then. Oh yeah? What was it that inspired you to get more into it? I don't know. I guess, let me think. It was after I discovered a series I really liked. Yeah, I was just like really fed up with a lot of things and got super into this one series I really related to. I guess I had an edgy phase where I just hated everyone around me and wanted to be by myself. Hey, kinda like Yuri. Monica. Sorry. That's completely wrong, so... It's still cool that you found your thing. They're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they helped you through a lot of hard times. You know it. Oh, what the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading? It's technically slightly longer, but not very much. How hard do you think it would go if I stacked up the whole series? Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high above her head, sizing up an imaginary stack. I should get one of those mangas that are like 50 volumes long so I can say I've read more than you. Not that I have the money for that. Please. That would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. I know, I was just joking. I could never actually read books like yours. It's too boring for me. Yuri shoots a glare at Natsuki. It's not boring. Chill, I said for me, not for you. I can have my own opinion. I just think it's too convoluted. Sayori, are those from the floor? She's not. Gross. Also, wash your hands before touching any of my books. But my hands aren't dirty. Just do it. You're always there, even if you can't see them. Sayori trots out the door, and Natsuki falls. She was eating cookie crumbs off the... Oh, you fucking little... Oh, God. This is why I love this character. She's so innocent and so sweet. Yet she's so... real. She's fake, but she's so real. Yuri, you look a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have calling my hobby boring? Well, she did correct herself. Hardly. She was so condescending. I don't mind if she thinks it's not for her. I already understand that it's not for everyone. But she knows how much these mean to me. And how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me about things you hate about it? I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right. This won't be the last time people have strong feelings about what they like and don't like. Especially in a literature club. So, I should figure out how to mediate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books. And also your ability to get through them so quickly. Thank you. Okay, well, this is something I'll have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you. Common ground isn't necessary. I just wish to be respected. Now then, either way, I'll do my best. I'm skeptical when it comes to Natsuki. I trust you, Monica, but I'm skeptical. Okay, everyone. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we get to share things that we're really passionate about. But it also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn over our differences into positive energy for each other. Are you being a little bit drastic about this? This is important to me. Oh, sorry, I just feel like I'm being accused or something. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. Sorry if it came off that way. If you feel guilt because you think something's about you, that means you know you've done something wrong. You can't have a guilty conscience without doing something that will make you feel guilty. So she knows. But our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it'd be a good topic for the Literature Club, don't you agree? I'm sure we're going to have difference in opinions, so I need to make sure that we're prepared to keep a positive atmosphere in the club. If you say so. Sure. The cool thing about language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea, or emotion. We have a lot of control over how we want the other person to feel when we receive our thoughts. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversation, basically anything. For example, Sayori, what's your favorite food? I have them organized by category, so I should start with snacks. So do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast? Oh, jeez. Okay, how about your favorite fruit? That's easy. Cherries. Write it down, someone. Write it down. Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty. What? Cherries are delicious. Whoa, that's a pretty strong reaction. Well, I just don't understand how someone can think cherries are nasty. See, I don't personally like cherries, but I love the taste of cherry. It's the texture that gets me. I'm very picky on textures. And how does it make you feel? I don't know. Sad? Defensive, maybe? Yeah, I got defensive. See? The reaction you had, reason you had such a strong reaction wasn't because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt like your opinion was under attack. But that's weird, right? Sometimes, taste is completely subjective. When I say something like, I think cherries are nasty, I'm using objective language. I'm challenging Sayori's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is that cherries are nasty. Wait, hold on. How's that objective when you said it was only your own opinion? It has to do with the way our brains interpret the words. You're talking about the reality of cherries, not your feelings of them. Like Sayori. Let's rewind for a second and pretend I didn't tell you that I thought cherries are nasty. Good. So what if instead that I said I've tried cherries, and they're not for me. It's not the kind of flavor I enjoy. Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word. Okay. So cherries was a kind of weird example, but I think it gets the point across. So this time around, instead of talking about cherries, I just talked about my feelings. And Sayori didn't get defensive. So, instead of clashing with each other, it's like we received the invitation to talk about our differences. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm not going to quiz you or anything. I know that. I was just... Sorry. I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you like. But does anyone have any thoughts so far? Yeah. I feel like I shouldn't put my language through a filter just to protect someone's feelings. Well, you don't have to. The choice is on you how you want to come across to people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to help you turn your differences into positive experiences, rather than an argument. Right, Sayori? Well, you say, cherry hater. Oh, come on. Sayori, I actually like cherries. I was just saying that to help demonstrate. What the heck? I've been duped! Oh my god! Oh my heart! Oh! Oh, my heart! She's so cute. I'm sorry, Sayori. I'll make it up to you later. How about a cherry sundae? You are welcome to dupe me anytime, my beloved president. Buying people's loyalty. How deplorable. No, like you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri. You were certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought in the other week. I was reading and not keeping track of them. Oh, that's enough. We're getting off topic. So, now that we have the gist of it, how about we try it with something more relevant to the club? Like manga, right? Let's try a productive discussion about the difference in opinion. Yuri, do you want to start? Well, I'd rather not, no. How come? Well, because I don't see how anything productive can come from that. Yeah, it's just going to start a fight. No, it'll be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's just have a calm and rational discussion. Yeah, give me a little more credit. I'm not a child. You don't have to coddle my feelings. I think it's more respectable to just speak your mind. Respectable? Yuri's expression changes at that word. As Monica recalls, being respected was the crux of the matter for Yuri. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like, it's fine. I have nothing against anyone personally. You're entitled to enjoy whatever it is you like. I just prefer more depth and nuance in my reading material. I look for stories that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level. Oh, well, it's just a misunderstanding then. I thought you were going to say that manga's for children or something. Like, I don't hear enough of that. There's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my own fair shares when I was younger. Wait, Are you serious? How come you never told me? Because I'm past that point of my life, and I really prefer not to revisit it. I prefer more mature things now. Excuse me? Okay, hold on. Can I just jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because you imply that manga is immature, then you're implying that someone is immature for being into it. Well, maybe it's not immature to judge people having new tastes in you. Natsuki? Nobody's immature. I've read Natsuki's manga and Yuri's fantasy. I love them, both in their own way. There's the voice. It's like pushing up this part of my thing here. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. Okay, it bores me. That's subjective. But, I mean, the thing about... Oh, this is ridiculous. Do you see why I don't want to participate in this? I knew it was just going to make people upset. I'm not upset. Like I said, I just don't care what other people think. But I always got the impression that you secretly look down upon me. So I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed. That's not true at all. You're making assumptions. You can't blame me for getting defensive when no one ever has the least bit of respect for the things I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for just being myself and trying to mind my own business. What? Have you looked in a mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all my interests are immature. You can't... Please stop. Please? You don't mean the things you're saying right now. Let's just be friends. I didn't mean for this to happen. Well, it did. So please don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Yuri's piercing words sent the clubroom into a choked silence. As she gathers her things, she leaves. Holy crap. I've never heard it sound like that before. She must be so pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so I was just saying. How did this all happen? It's my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I should have tried to moderate a conflict where I know how I'm bad at dealing with conflicts. It was a really stupid thing for me to do. It's nobody's fault, and it wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we're sensitive about the things we really love. Honestly, she kind of brought up on herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're not into manga, but if you actually look down on other people for it, that's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about sugarcoating things. It's just about recognizing and understanding our differences. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down on me. It has nothing to do with her word choice or anything like that. So, I see what you were trying to do, but I think the problem here is her. Not just the way we talk to each other, right? I mean, Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter when you give her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this. I actually think everyone should. It'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Well, I'm just like saying that instinctively. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems. This wasn't your fault, Monica. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. If you ask me, it's good that the truth finally came out. Because I can just move on now. But it's fine, I promise. Just get our mind off this, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga. We're having to worry about Yuri's superiority complex. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga whenever you want, but just don't be mean to my friends, okay? Sorry. I'm just bitter. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but at least I know we're all good people and don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience. Monica says that, but her uneasiness has given away how much she has to force the reassuring tone in her voice. This was bound to happen eventually. Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other, at the least out of anyone, and this is the reason. As Sayori and Natsuki proceed to distract themselves with manga, Monica sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. will the club really just have to come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? Monica desperately doesn't want to admit that, and she knows that Sayori doesn't either. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. So we are picking up mail, by the way, at the moment. I don't know when I should be checking it. Should I be checking it now? Thank you to everyone who worked so hard on the control simulation. I can't imagine how tedious it must have been to delicately hide Monica's elevated permissions from her without disrupting our connection on the VM. Just to clarify, all the recordings labeled side stories are part of a control simulation, right? I'm noticing some details of the characters' lives here that differ a bit, those in version material 1, even trivial ones. Is it part of the butterfly effect from some of Monica's own fundamental changes, or is it a result of her messing around with the other characters in VM1? Wait, VM1 is the first version of the game. So, if I'm keeping track what, 5 universes in total, 3 of them created and destroyed by Monica, of course it's funny, because I want to keep speculating on which of them is the real universe, but in reality they all are, as real as ours is. So Monica's still active. She's still active, and she's still trying to get out. And these side stories exist to subdue her. I'm on leave for the rest of the weekend. Contact Ravi if you need to schedule server time. But I expect my job to run for a few days since I will collect so much data this week. How about we arrange a meeting to discuss the results when I return? They're experimenting on Monica. A new day arrives. Sarah arrives at the club room earlier than usual. That is, not late. As she enters, it appears to be empty still. So, she sits at the desk and pulls out a sheet of paper, trimmed to jot down her thoughts. Sarah has made a habit of scribbling her thoughts onto paper, whenever possible, as it tends to serve as her best inspiration for poetry. My heart feels vacant because the ship has sailed away. Yo! Ah! Natsuki? Natsuki pokes her head out from behind the closet door. Have I gone to the wrong one? I think I have. Hang on. I think I went to the wrong one. Hang on. Oh no, that is the right one. What? Doesn't feel like it, does it? Natsuki pokes her head out from behind the closet door. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. But it would have been a lot more awkward if we didn't say anything. I doubt you wanted me listening on your poetry thing. Yeah. Thanks for realizing that. I should let you finish up then? Oh, no, it wasn't. I mean, just do whatever is convenient. You're not interrupting. Where's Monica, by the way? Oh, she's out in the hallway. Huh? Why? Well, just in case she runs into Yuri. Sometimes Yuri's too nervous to come to the clubroom by herself, so... Oh, jeez. Does Yuri let things bother her for that long? You found a God of War plushie. Ooh. By the way, buddy, I say, I'll grab this as well. I've still got to give this to you when I see you in a con. I've still got this, and it is still for you. Alright? That is 100% for you, bud. She can't control her feelings. For some people, it's really hard to cope with a bad thought in your head. Maybe you can distract yourself for a little while. But as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back. Ugh. I just want us to have a normal club meeting. It's a lot easier to pretend like it never happened if we just ignore it and move on. I don't want to be bothered by all this. It's so stupid. Her opinion of me doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, I know, on my Discord I got you something. Oh, buddy, thank you so much. Oh my god. I'll have to travel up to a con up your way at some point. It's okay to have feelings. It doesn't make you weak. Let's figure this out together. Fine. Only because you're good at this stuff. Let's try to come up with a happy scene. Maybe that'll help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from. Well, I was happy the way things were before we had that conversation yesterday. What part of the conversation made you upset? Was it Yuri being mean about the manga? Maybe. I doubt it though. Because my friends and other people make fun of my manga all the time, but I just brush it off and ignore them. But something really got to me this time, and I hate that I'm letting it happen. Is it because it came from Yuri? No, why would that matter? I mean, well, maybe. I just hate that she thinks about me she thinks she's so much better than me. Just because she likes to pretend she's all sophisticated. Yeah, that's what it is. At least other people decide they don't like me, or manga or whatever. But Yuri acts like she's too good to even give it a chance. I'm sorry. Everyone deserves a chance. Yeah, exactly. Would you give Yuri's book a chance? After this? Obviously not. What about before this? Well, I wouldn't until I got bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, it's not hard to realize that a story can be deep and meaningful without needing to be needlessly complicated. I see. But I like Yuri's books. Yeah, but you like manga more, right? Siri shakes her head. I like them both. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. I mean, the manga, it's really honest and fun, and easy to just let go with. And the fantasy has a lot to interpret or uncover, and it's really rewarding to have a good quiet time with it. But the most important thing of them both as well, both the manga and fantasy are true to themselves. So I love them both. I think there's room for both of them to be in the same club together. I feel like maybe they have more in common than you would think. How do you get along with everyone so well? I always get into fights with people. Like, first it was Monica, when I was new to this club, and then it was you, and now it's Yuri. I'm always like, oh, that person is being such a jerk. If they realized it, they could at least get along. But nobody else has that problem. I just keep running away from the reality that everyone's just a jerk to me because no one likes me. And I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. Someone you work with said they'll cosplay Kazuha. Yes! Well, you tell me when that one is, because you know who I'd end up wearing. Where is he? Where is he? Is he in the cupboard? He's in the cupboard. Guys, by the way, just as an update, I think we're going to do half of the stories today, and I will try and get the other half of the stories done tomorrow. Because I don't know, these are taking a little longer than I thought they were. Only 10 more are left. This one's a little tight on me, but... I love it, nonetheless. I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate it. Natsuki. Siri puts a comforting hand on Natsuki's shoulder. You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved as much as anyone else. Everyone has different ways to communicate, you know. And sometimes that makes it harder for us to understand each other. I think that sometimes we get lucky and we make friends who are really good at the same kind of communication. and it feels like you magically connect with them. Oh, heck yeah. Can I get a request, Lucina, that you get a picture and put it onto the Discord, onto my Discord, so I can have a look, or your Discord, so I can see. I want to see what it looks like. Also, talking of Genshin, Lucina, I have bought another box of Genshin Impact cards, and I do intend to open them on stream. Now, I have a majority of the cards already, so there's going to be quite a few spares. Is there any Genshin Impact character from Season 1 that you would like me to set aside? Remember, it's pretty much pre-Inazuma. All characters pre-Inazuma. If you state a character and I know they're not in it, I will let you know. I will keep one aside for you. If that's something that Yuri struggles with a lot too, it can be really hard. It takes a lot of reflection and self-awareness and vulnerability. Ugh, I'm bad at that one. Beto? Let me just check my book. I'm pretty sure I actually pulled a Beto. So that would mean that is 100% in there. Where's my bag? Sorry guys, I know you came for Doki, but tough luck. You've come to me kind of just having a chill time. Because the reason it's all in my bag, right, is I was actually helping out a youth club today, teaching some younger children how to play Pokemon. Let's have a look. Colorless, Pyro, Electro. I have good news. She is part of the set. Hokuto is part of the set. Oh, hell yes, my friend. I can't wait to do Genshin stuff. Cosplay. I'm bad at that one. Vulnerability. I always have to be the strongest. What do you mean? Tell me about that part of you. Well, it sounds stupid, but I'm used to people being mean to me. Like my friends, and I guess my dad. Like, when I don't get a good grade or in stupid things, like if my room's not clean. So what am I gonna do? Cry about it? If I let myself get upset, that's just letting them win. I'm better than that. I'm better than all of them. I'm the #1 Hokage. Believe it! So, things always have to be everyone else's fault. It feels like something goes wrong, and there's even a tiny hint that it might be my fault, then I just get really angry. And I find ways to blame everyone else instead. Do you see yourself as better than Yuri? If I said that, then I'll just sound full of myself. No. Our thoughts and feelings are different too. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand him if we want to learn more about ourselves. That's the part of vulnerability, you know? Accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I hate that. My feelings make me a bad person. Because my feelings just want me to tell me that I'm so much better than her. That she's a judgmental know-it-all who's stuck in her edgy phase. And that I'm just way above that garbage. Hello, Dab. Cool. How are you doing today? Welcome on in. But I'm terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. You're not your feelings. But you are not your feelings. Say that to yourself, out loud. Fine. I'm not my feelings. The way I like to picture it is that those feelings are like your roommates. You live in the same house, and you've got to see each other each day. And even if you can ignore each other most of the time, you're going to run into each other every now and then. And it's going to make you feel like poo. Feel like shit, Sayori. Oh, Sayori is so fucking innocent, she doesn't even swear. Natsuki and Yuri swear. Sayori can't even bring herself to say shit. She says poop. The innocent baby. This is why I love her. She is so cute. Bruh. My heart. I might have to replace it. I might have to have my heart replaced with a piece of metal at this point, because bloody hell is it beating fast. So, the other option is to get to know each other. You can communicate and learn from each other, and maybe even help each other change for the better. How are you doing today, by the way, Dad? Does that help you understand? How do you know so much about this stuff? I just have a roommate that can be really hard to get along with. Her depression, no! Cold depression, no! Hello, etc. live streams. Exactly, my heart is going Doki Doki. No! Don't remind me of this baby. Depression. But you're like the happiest person I know. We usually are, Natsuki. We usually are. I'm not my feelings. I want to be a good person like you. Ah, you little sweetheart. We're all good people. You, Yuri, and Monica. And I think Yuri will eventually learn that about you. Natsuki remains silent, feeling a little overwhelmed. This is Doki Doki Literature Club Plus for the Switch. We're currently going through the side stories, which are little stories about the girls before you join the club. Despite Siri's kind reassurance, a complicated mixture of pain and sadness seems to fill her, as though flowing through a wound inside her. Was it a result of her vulnerability? No. It wasn't as though she was inflicted a wound after becoming vulnerable. It was as though she was rediscovering an old wound, one that could not simply be bandaged and left alone any longer. Telling someone that you've got depression, that can be one of the hardest things. Letting it be known that you have depression can be one of the hardest things. So I can understand that. Yuri, what are you doing all the way over here? I was looking for you. Please don't yell at me. Oh, I'm not going to yell at you. I just want to say that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. It was unfair of me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time, I won't try and jump in and solve everyone's problems. I guess it's more of a bad habit of mine. You're not mad at me? I thought you were the one mad at me. I was so awful yesterday. Yuri calls up, recalling the details of the argument. I can't even have a normal conversation without saying something wrong or making everyone upset. Hold on. That's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay? Yuri pauses for a second, and manages a nod. Monica takes a seat next to her on the staircase. I have a lot of negative thought patterns. I can't get away from them. What kind of negative thought patterns? Like, everyone hates me. Especially Natsuki. Oh, that's terrible. I don't think Natsuki hates you. How do you know? Well, because... Monica thinks back to that time she found herself in an altercation with Natsuki, and how a display of maturity from Monica was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own feelings as well. I think Natsuki's just naturally defensive. I think she acts mean when she feels the need to protect herself. But you know, she's not really a bad person. In fact, she can be really thoughtful and considerate. She just, well, I guess the way it works is that she wants to receive some degree of kindness first before she feels comfortable returning it. Oh, that means the burden's on me. And I don't know how to say things to make people like me. Every time I open my mouth, I just... Yuri shakes her head at herself and tugs on her hair. It's okay, Yuri. There's no need to beat yourself up. How are you doing today anyway, etc.? Hopefully you're having a lovely day as well. I'm going to use this opportunity of having a few people in the stream just to once again shout out the artist who drew Sunbeam in the top left corner here. Sunbeam being my Sayori and OC ship. So a big shout out to Nameless Oracle on Twitter, or Unknown Oracle on Twitch, sorry. Unknown Oracle on Twitch, but they also go by Nameless Oracle on Twitter. They made a piece of art that really helps me mentally, and that's why it's up there for today. I think anyone would like if they had the chance to get to know you. Well, unfortunately the opposite is true. That's why I'm not talkative anymore in the first place. Because everyone used to think I was weird and talk about me behind my back. That's just what happens when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind. So I did. And she hated me anyway. That was enough to confirm my fears. But Sayori and I like you. And we've got to know you a lot by now, right? Mm-hmm. Yuri doesn't seem to have a response. Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about her. That's not what I meant, really. I was just wondering if you had an opinion of her. I do. What is it? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me, and I feel really ashamed of it. I like to think of myself as a fairly sophisticated person. So, for someone to just treat me like I'm inferior despite my tastes, that's just the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her. And it makes me think bad things about her. But everyone else seems to like her, so the only explanation is that it's me who's doing something wrong again. And my feelings about her are wrong. And I'm wrong to get upset over something so childish and inconsequential. No, Yuri. Feelings are never wrong. Well, they're not right. I'm not calling you a truther. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know. They're just a state of being that we don't always have control over. But that doesn't mean they have control over us. I feel like that's something I learned when I first started this club. We can hate ourselves for feeling a certain way about things. Or we can, you know, just acknowledge they exist and try to understand them better. I could never be mad at you for feeling a certain way. It's about how you handle them. And I think working through feelings is a great opportunity for teamwork. Yuri wears a dejected expression. You make it sound so easy. You're so mature and good with people. I feel like such a child in comparison. Oh, Yuri. I'm far from perfect. But these are learned skills. They didn't come naturally to me either. It's really hard to, like, reflect on yourself and separate your feelings from your thoughts. I just want to be a good person. Well, I think it takes a good person to get this far. That's not good enough. I want to be able to communicate with her. Communicate what? How I feel. How it makes me feel frustrated and upset when she's so negative and dismissive of the things that mean so much to me. And how it reminds me of me. Because I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that telling yourself you're better than everyone is just a defense mechanism. We're just people. We're fragile and unstable. But I'm just tired of getting in the way. I can't stand it when peace is disturbed like that. Yeah. You can't focus on your reading when the peace is disturbed, right? Because the literature club should be happy for everyone. Monica looks at Yuri in adoration. I feel like Sayori must be rubbing off on me. Because I really want to hug you right now. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. No, I mean, well, if you wanted to, I wouldn't really mind, so... Monica pulls Yuri into a short embrace. You're so gentle. And I love it when you communicate your feelings. I feel lucky to get to see that side of you. And I'm sure Natsuki will too. I'm gonna write her a letter. Oh? A letter? What a great idea! Just because I'm not good at talking, especially under pressure. I always let my feelings get the best of me, and I forgot to say all these important things. And I say things I don't mean. Oops, I'm doing these in the wrong order. You're supposed to actually do it downwards. Oops-a-daisy. Well, I think a letter would be wonderful. Such a nice way to communicate. Yuri's face hardened with determination. People don't naturally gravitate towards me like they do for you and Sayori. My personality just isn't suited for that, and I wouldn't want it to be. But something I've learned is that friendships don't always just magically appear out of thin air. For that instance, I would never have seen myself making friends with someone like Sayori. We're opposite in a lot of ways, but I'm friends with her because she puts so much effort in the understanding me that we can get along. I think it's the same with you. You both gave me a lot of time and patience, and I wonder if she feels the same way. Natsuki? Yuri nods. I always thought that if I wanted to make more friends, I had to be someone that I'm not. There's a type of person or a magical formula I have to follow in order to make someone like me. It's just like me to think that. Always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand other people. Yuri shakes her head. Friendship happens when you think about the other person. When you offer the time and effort to understand them and respect them, and trust that they also want to be a good person. That's what I learned from my observations in the literature club. Observations? Monica is caught by surprise. Yuri has always kept to herself so much that it's unusual for her to hear suddenly talk about the club like this. But Yuri gently smiles to herself. You always let me listen to your thoughts about people. Sayori too. And it makes me happy because I learn a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant that much to you. Monica had not thought much of it, but in the past week, Yuri seemed especially attentive when it came to the problems and concerns of others, always wanting to listen and learn more about her friends in the club. It's true, Sayori and Monica were naturally more comfortable with other people and could easily work through situations of conflict. But that doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses, and the capacity to improve. And the first step forward is improving oneself, is reflection and self-awareness. It's something that Yuri never gave herself enough credit for, but that Monica can recognize as an incredible trait. And with that, her confidence in the club is restored. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at time, guys, and I think what we are going to do is we are going to split this into two. Okay, so tomorrow, I will happily continue. A very shy girl with long pretty hair is wandering the bustling lunchtime hallways, her fists pressed into her collarbone. When she finds the Literature Club's president's classroom, she stands at the door, glancing all around her before peering inside. Monica is sitting and chatting with a group of unknown friends. Yeah, as expected. This was a bad idea after all. Suddenly, Monica glances towards the door, making the girl panic and duck out of sight. Before she can regain composure and decide for sure to leave, the classroom door gently opens. Yuri? What a surprise to see you here during lunch. Yuri squeaks a response. Please help me. What, is everything okay? Yuri shakes her head. I don't know how to write letters. Thank goodness, I thought there was some kind of emergency. Monica briefly glanced over her shoulder at her friends. Do you want some help? We can find an empty classroom or something. Is that okay? I feel bad taking you away from your friends. It's totally fine. We aren't doing anything. One sec. Monica trots back into the classroom, says something like, I gotta go, to her friends, then grabs a pen off the desk before returning to Yuri. Okay, let's find somewhere quiet. Yuri nods, then follows Monica as the two of them set off. How are you today? Huh? Me? Well, yeah. Oh gosh, so I was a little caught off guard. I'm doing well today, just tired. Never seem to get enough sleep during the week. How come? Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just easily distracted, then I get really sucked into things and start neglecting the time. Oh, me too. I do that too. Hey, this classroom's empty. Let's go in here. After peering inside, Monica opens the classroom door and the two of them enter. Yuri's moment of relaxation ends. She watches as Monica pulls up two chairs at the same desk, then obeys as Monica beckons her to a seat. She stares down at the empty desk. You nervous? Oh, I can't wait to see your Cynthia in practice. I can't wait to see all the photos. Guys, if you're not already, another just quick shout out. Right. Please go give Lucina a follow. They deserve a lot more love for their streams. Oh, this is Serena's nuke. I love watching Serena just nuke. I've actually had a sad thing happen though, is that I've lost my account. I lost my Pokemon Masters account. It's not on my main Nintendo account and I can't find it, and I'm a little panicky over that because I'm hoping it's on my other phone. But if it's not, I've just lost Zinnia and I'm going to be so distressed. Even if she gets a return or a rerun. I don't want to do this. We don't have to. We can go up with something else. Yuri shakes her head. It's my chance to do something good. I need to take initiative. Roll! Wait. Time to take initiative. Where are my 20s? There's a 20. Roll for initiative! I got a 13. Is that any good? Gosh, you must be really determined. I know how hard it is to step out your comfort zone. That's cool, but even so, all that time, all that money spent in that account, I kind of want that account. I'm going to see if I can find the other, because I think it's linked up to my second Nintendo account, my original one, so I'm going to try and see if I can find that one. I'll be sure to encourage you. Yuri pushes her anxiety and grabs a handful of lined paper from her notebook. She then picks up her pen. Oh, this artwork! Hey, you're left-handed. That's neat. Yeah. Now I don't have to worry about bumping your arm. Monica playfully rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. Sorry. I'm just being silly, I guess. Anyway, how about we start by listing the different things you want to say to her? Yuri thinks. I feel embarrassed all of a sudden. Oh, it's okay. How about some of the things you said to me yesterday? Never mind. I guess I'll try. Yuri thinks for a moment, her tension evident. She then writes the word reflection. This is about my reflection on our behavior. The key question is why we act like this towards each other, but have been able to separately be friends with Sayori and Monica. That's me! Yes, it is. So, Yuri thinks. I've been able to befriend the two of you because you've taken the time to understand my needs and respect my interests. The same goes for Natsuki too. We started off as pretty hostile to each other because I was so worried about getting what I wanted. But she just wants to be respected more than anything else. Once I stopped making it all about me, she was able to do the same. I want to do that too. So what kind of things do you want to do for her? I want to do the same things to her, like that I like to receive. I like it when people respond positively to things I talk about and not just brush me off. I like it when my feelings are taken seriously, and I like it when you and Sayori trust that I want to be a good person, even when I'm not doing a good job of it. Let's write these things down. Okay. Yuri writes some things down. I think the most important thing to remember here is that Natsuki is feeling vulnerable, so we should make sure that the letter puts her first. It's hard when you're feeling hurt, but it never just helps to tell someone all the time that they're doing wrong. I think first you have to make sure they know you're ready to respect them and listen to them, and admit the things that you feel you could do better. Then finally, ask what you would like in return. How does that sound for a structure? It could be like 3 paragraphs, one for each of those points. Yesterday I actually brought some shards from line to sign. Amelia's? Yes! Ah, wait. I brought some shards from line to get signed at the car because it was there, but oh no! Did you manage to at least get like a print? Because I know with certain voice actor signings you can get prints. I like that. My thoughts were so disorganized, I had no idea how to come up with any structure. You're amazing at these things. Oh, stop. You've done so much more than I have, you know. You spent so much time reflecting and being open-minded. That's the hardest thing to do. All I'm doing is helping you put it on a piece of paper. So, I think you're the amazing one. Monica gives Yuri's hand a quick squeeze. But as she lets go, she's caught by surprise when Yuri cuts her fingers to hook Monica's hand in place. For a while they sit like that in silence, save for the occasional scratching of Yuri's pen against paper. Yesterday you told me something that I'm thinking about a lot. What was that? Think about how feelings aren't right or wrong, and that they're just a state of being we need to come in terms with. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always how they decide to be. It's also made up of their past experiences and insecurities. I think that it helps me see other people as actual people, rather than as insignificant side characters who are out to get me somehow. Is that how you felt about Natsuki? Because they love... Oh god, I'm going to get mixed up now because their names both Fan and Aki. But in reality, everyone's trying their best and everyone wants to be happy. Monica peers over at Yuri's paper, but to her surprise, Yuri pulls it in closer, partially covering it with her arm. I have to be able to read it to help you, you know. It's okay. My thoughts are a lot more organized now, after being able to talk to you about it. Now that I'm actually putting pen on paper, I realise I prefer others not to read it. Yuri laughs softly to herself. A rare expression. I'm kind of glad to hear that, actually. I somehow kept finding ways to butt into the whole thing. I've done some enough damage. It's also been wonderful talking about this. I mean, I always thought you were really smart, but Yuri smiles. I'll always be terrible at these kind of things. People are just so incomprehensible to me. I'll never get the hang of being one. But listening to you so much has really helped me make sense of some things. So just don't call it damage, please. Monica gives Yuri a gentle smile. I can't believe I came to this club looking for fantasy geeks, and all I got was real friends who value me. Is that a joke? Of course it is. I still can't tell with you. Sorry. No, I love it. Please, never change. As you wish. Yuri glances at the clock. We're almost out of time. Will you be able to finish?
You have my thanks.
Really, thank you so much. Else? Hydrations? Three gulps, 4, 5. Okay, Yuri, I'm gonna let you know after 5 rapids, we stop. How are you doing today anyway? You have a piano? I don't have a piano now. But I don't want to come to the club the same day Natsuki reads it. I'm too shy. I can give it to her instead if you like. Monica here has a piano though. Yuri nods. As long as you promise not to read it. Of course I promise. Thank you. Yuri exhales. The two stand up. Hang on a second. Alright. Let's see if I've got any. Let's have a look. Alright. I'm afraid I can't click links, especially when I'm streaming. From people that, as a first time chatter, I can't just click the link, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, my detect doesn't come up. Even being told that, I'm afraid, because this goes up on YouTube as well, I have to be very careful. I'll message you when it's ready. Monica nods. Good luck. I'll be here if you need me. Yuri returns the nods, and the two depart. And that is our second one. Oh my god, the story here is amazing. Right, I'll tell you what I will do. I'm guessing it's along the line of a Rickroll at worst. Well, I'm hoping it'd be a Rickroll at worst. Because I can respect a Rickroll. Rickrolling is like, oh, I haven't heard this song in a while. Nice. Nice. I was right. I was right. I know a Rickroll when I see one. Bass boosted as well. GG's. The enemy of Rickroll. Well, you're not Rickrolled. Rickrolling is the act of the opening part of the song playing. I didn't play it. Yeah, I've read which version it is. Bass boosted and another little bit. Please don't say that last bit on the stream, please. So, we've also got some new soundtrack. It was that version. Oh my god. The music in this game is so emotional, and I love it. So, it does seem we are going in the wrong direction of the story. We are supposed to go down. But we're going to do this in a very Star Warsy fashion where we're going up wrong, and then we're going to, next stream tomorrow, we'll do 1, 2, 3. Okay? Because what I think we'll do is we'll do... It's alright, buddy. I don't need to be rickrolled. To be fair, it's a nice song. It's a really good song. Honestly, I kind of want to do it one day at a convention. Just give the link and say, this is the song that needs to play when I go up on stage. Just rickroll an entire convention. So I think what we do is we will do 3 today, 3 tomorrow, and then we'll check up this. Oh, TTS spam. See, I don't know if Owie would be able to do that. I don't know if Owie would be able to do that spam. Should we test it and see? Let me just check some things. I need to just see with my stream elements. Does she read off bit donations? And yeah, I'll be paying my own pocket. I'll be basically losing money doing this, but... Hey! Bit of fun, huh? Right, let's have a look. I just want to make sure first beforehand, because the last thing we want... Emulate a cheer of... Actually, I don't have to waste points. I can just do it here.
For the memes cheered X100
Abby is giving me a really, really bad look for doing that. She read it out and turned to me. She is not happy. It's a test, sweetheart. Calm down. I'll make sure we get some, I'll make sure we'll find some extra bots. We'll find some big follow bots and we'll get you a meal, alright? It's alright. I will watch them in my free time if that's alright, because you've always got to be safer than sorry. But yes, so we're going to do half the stories today, half the stories tomorrow, which means tomorrow will actually be the finishing. I do need to go to the bathroom, so please bear with me. I'll see you guys in 1 second. I thought we were going to be able to finish this game today, but it's not happening. The stories take about half hour each, and if I'm honest, spreading out the gameplay, I kind of want to do it, because I kind of enjoy this game right now tomorrow. Natsuki! While Natsuki is messing with the orientation of her manga in the closet shelves, Sayori approaches from behind, pulls her into an embrace. Baby! What? Hey. Hi. The literature club has been in full swing since Natsuki joined. Including her, the club is now comprised of 4 members. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monika. Each club member has received a day in the spotlight to share all of their favourite kind of literature with each other. Natsuki was the first to share her passion for manga. Then, Sayori shared her love for poetry, as well as how she goes about writing it herself. Monika, who has multiple literary interests, decided to focus her day on short stories. And finally, Yuri managed to demonstrate her obsession with fantasy, with a little help and encouragement from Sayori. After the week was spent at their presentation, Monika decided to give the club members this next week to freely explore each other's literary interests. Sayori, having spent most of her time in the club so far with Yuri's fantasy books, is rather excited about beginning her journey with Natsuki's manga collection. I want to read with you today. Tell me which one I should pick. Well, it depends on the kind of stuff you like. I mean, there's like romance, drama, comedy, mystery. Sayori, pick this one. It's called Konosuba. It's fucking funny. It is the Rick and Morty of anime. It is so bullshit funny for no good reason. Controversial take, I know. I like all those things. Sayori shouts and pulls out a random book from the shelf and inspects the cover. Shouldn't this girl be wearing more clothes? You wouldn't like that one. In a panic, Natsuki snatches the book from Sayori's hands and replaces it on the shelf, in a less conspicuous location. Okay, well, if you really have no preference, then let's just start with something that's easy to get into. Well, these don't start to get really good until like a few volumes in, and I won't ask someone to make that kind of commitment unless they're already really into manga. I can handle it. I did with Yuri's books at least. Well, I'm more considerate than that. Although I'm kind of impressed by your attention span of putting that much effort into her books. No, I have the attention span of a donut. But I love my friends. I can do anything if it's for them. Oh my god, these stories are making me love Sayori so much more. Well, okay then. Let's begin with something that even donuts can read. I didn't say I was a donut. I just have the attention span of one. Aw, you were just trying to call me sweet. You're so cute. No, how do you get to that conclusion? Don't call me that. Donut? Cute. Aw, how come? I just don't like it. I don't need a reason. Natsuki yanks a book from the shelf and closes the closet doors. If someone asks you to stop, then you just need to stop. People don't realize that. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Nah. Sorry, it wasn't you. Natsuki shakes her head while putting a second chair over her desk. I was talking about something else. I don't mean to get all angry all of a sudden. Natsuki averts her gaze and mumbles. You're like, well, a nice person, so I wasn't talking about you. I still learned a valuable lesson. Suri speaks softly as well, feeling shy after receiving the unexpected compliment. Well, anyway, here's the book, so just start it wherever you like. What's it about? Well, it's like a comedy, and there's romance too, obviously. Suri looked at the title. It's called Love is Another World of Luck. It's about this girl who keeps accidentally running into the same guys. And then you finding out like, well, you should just read it. But you have to tell me what you think. I can already guess who you're gonna ship yourself with. It'd be so funny if I'm right. Ship? I don't get it. Nah, never mind, let's not worry about that yet. Just make sure to tell me what you think. Okay. I'll start then. Hey, maybe tomorrow we can do poetry as well. Oh, yeah, I guess. But don't you want to finish this first? Yeah, but we could do both. I mean, unless you don't like poetry, then I won't make you or anything. No, it's just, well, never mind. We can worry about it tomorrow. After the club meeting ends, Natsuki and Yuri leaves. Monika strikes up a conversation with Sayori. I see you got Natsuki to share some of her manga with you. I really want to become better friends with her. She's so enthusiastic and expressive. I could just listen to her talk. She's so cute. I'm not sure she meant I can't say it to her or if I can't say it at all. Say what? Nothing. I am a woman of respect. But Natsuki is a woman of cute. Oh, I said it. What's so bad about that? I don't know. But you know, there's one thing I'm kind of worried about. Sometimes I'm afraid that Natsuki doesn't actually like me very much. Oh, that's ridiculous. How'd you come to feel that way? Who couldn't love Sayori? Well, I mean, just little signs. Like how she only says hi to me after I say hi to her first. And it feels like she only gets excited to talk to me about manga and stuff she likes. She just seems dismissive a lot. She was like that when I first brought up poetry. Yeah, but that doesn't mean she doesn't like you. She's probably just shy, you know? Maybe. My stupid head's making me worry for no reason. It likes to do that. It's okay. Try not to worry too much. I think it'll be great. But you can always talk to me or any concern you have. I'm here to help. You're the best. Sayori gives Monika a quick hug. Well, I'm gonna keep trying because I love her and I want to get close to her. You got this. Oh my god, Sayori just makes me so happy. I can't lie. After the next club meeting starts, Sayori is the last one as usual. Trotting into the room, she sees Natsuki sitting alone by the closet, reading what must be manga. Without hesitation, Sayori pulls up a chair and plops herself right down next to Natsuki. Hello there. General Sayori. What you reading? Can I read with you? Natsuki pulls the book away from Sayori. Can't I just start in the middle? The spoilers! Besides, what about the one I gave you yesterday? Sorry, I was just curious. Well, anyway, I've been waiting forever for this volume to come out. It's just come out yesterday, so... Oh, that's exciting. I'll let you read then. Mm-hmm. Can I sit next to you then? Sure. Sayori plops herself down next to Natsuki, then pulls out a blank sheet of paper. Natsuki reads in silence, save for the periodic flutter of a page being released from beneath her thumb. From Sayori's side, only the light tapping noise of a pen meeting the paper can be heard. Time passes. Sayori's paper is filled with scribbles, and the margins are lined with stick figures. Natsuki lets out a deep sigh and closes her book. Did you finish? No, but it's a good starting point. My head's swimming, I need a break. Natsuki stretches her arms. Aren't you bored? No, I was writing. Oh, I saw all the stick figures and thought you were bored. I just draw those when I'm thinking or waiting for inspiration. I made friends with them all. This one's sad because she thinks the night sky is pretty, but she can't look up at the stars in public without everyone thinking she's a weirdo. And this one has problems with his back, but the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with him. What the heck? You're the weirdo. Want to read the poem I'm working on? Sure, I guess. Suri slides the paper over to Natsuki. As Natsuki reads the poem, she furrows her eyebrows. She slides the paper back to Sayori. Don't you ever feel weird just sharing your thoughts and feelings like that? I mean, your poem's like really emotional. Is that bad? Well, no, it's just an observation. I think people can get close to each other if they find a way of expressing their feelings. Shit! That's actually a line that I was going to give. Haruki. Art is my way of expressing. Yeah, there's more than one way for people to express their feelings to one another. It's a great way to bond and break barriers. Hence why I draw so commonly. Even the smallest sketch can mean the most. Well, Natsuki begins to protest. She can't find a good way of putting her thoughts into words. Doesn't that depend more on the friends you have? I don't know. To each their own, but I've never met anyone I feel comfortable sharing my poems with. Not that it's you, it's just how I am, so. You write poems? You never told me that. I just thought you wrote other stuff. Yeah, that too, but you should. I mean, would you ever want to share? Like I said, I don't do that. But can we talk about something else? I'm sorry. It's not your fault. It just makes me uncomfortable. I can't help it. Still, I'm sorry. It's fine. Well, let's move on to something that makes us both happy. I should continue the book you gave me, since I didn't get very far yet. Sure. Ooh, fluttery. Over the next few days, Sarah begins each club meeting by approaching Natsuki with an unwavering enthusiasm. It's Natsuki! Natsuki! Hi, Natsuki! Aww. At the end of one club meeting, Monica, who has become rather invested in Sayori's friendship mission, starts an innocuous conversation with Natsuki while she packs up. It's cool that you've been finding more time to spend with Sayori. She was pretty excited for the chance to read manga with you. Yeah. I'm sure you've been enjoying the chance to share it too, right? Yeah, mostly. Natsuki glances over her shoulder, but doesn't reply further. What's on your mind? Nothing. I don't talk about people behind their backs. Oh. Natsuki falls silent, but she just fidgets instead of getting back to what she was doing, or as if she wants to say more. It's okay to share your feelings. It's different from talking about someone behind their back. I guess. I just hate it when people talk about me behind my back, so I know I'm better than to do it to others. Monica shares a bright smile. You're really considerate. Thanks, I guess, but it doesn't feel like it. You can trust me. Natsuki stands in silence for a moment, still fidgeting. I just feel smothered sometimes. I'm not used to someone being like all over me after we meet. And it's fun to hang out with her, but I just have no control over the pace. I can't just meet someone and instantly become best friends with them and like share everything about myself. That's not how it works. I just want to chill out sometimes. Oh, I didn't realize that was happening. It's fine. Why would you have? I know. I just feel bad about it. I know Sayori, so I should have realized. Monica navigates through her tinge of guilt, which had surfaced mainly due to her being the only one who previously encouraged Sayori's behavior. Despite not knowing the situation, Monica can't help but feel a little bit responsible. Do you want me to talk to her about it? No, I wouldn't like that. Well, I could I don't know, divert her into another club activity for you or something. No way. Don't be so underhanded. Me. Sorry. I didn't think that one through. Besides, just because I complain about it doesn't mean I'm asking someone to solve my problems. True. I'm sorry. I guess I just instinctively want to try and solve problems, even if I haven't been invited to them. It's fine. I'll talk to Sayori about it, but it just made me feel really weird between us. I feel like it just make her constantly be afraid that she's bothering me. I don't know how to keep things natural. Well, I think you do a good job expressing your feelings. She would totally understand. Sayori really wants to be the best she can be for other people. I think she would actually be happy that you wanted to improve your friendship with her. Maybe. Ugh, I just feel so dumb. Talking to someone about how to be friends with them? It's just weird, not cool. Monica shrugs. It's the literature club. Then she mumbles for a stilted laugh. It's not the cool club. Hey! That just tickled me for some reason. Look, I know you're kind of in a tough spot, and that it's hard for you to express yourself, really. But you've really demonstrated to me that you're great at self-reflection and critical thinking, even if it doesn't feel like it to you. I think the most important thing is being able to navigate through these things. So I believe that we'll find the right thing to do. Well, Natsuki instinctively starts to reject the compliment, but she can't find any excuses to do so. Thanks. Natsuki gathers her things as she finishes through a mumble. I'm so glad I joined a club. It's just, even if it's weird sometimes. Monica smiles, but Natsuki turns her back and walks away before waiting for a reply. It was an unusual way for Natsuki to express her appreciation, but Monica knew what she meant. It made Monica feel like every day was going to be okay. When are we going to look some more mail? Yeah, this to me, I gotta say it again. The side stories are being used to try and control Sayori. Control Monica. I'm noticing details the characters' lives here differ from those in VM1, even trivial ones. VM. Virtual metaverse. They are called metaverse. A metaverse is basically a digital realm. I'm pretty sure this game is confirming that Monica is sentient even after the game. It's lunchtime. Sayori, who usually buys her lunch, is making her way to the cafeteria like any other day. The clamour and bustle of the students is drowned out by Sayori's impeccable skill of zoning out. However, her imagination is momentarily interrupted by the glimpse of a familiar pink-haired girl. Hey, that's Natsuki. I never run into the other club members around school. Natsuki! Sayori stands on her tiptoes and waves. Natsuki, who's busy walking and chatting with her friends, doesn't notice Sayori at all at first. Then she glances in Sayori's direction. Sayori waves enthusiastically. Following her friends, Natsuki quickly ducks around the corner. Hey! She definitely saw me. Monica is the first to arrive at the club meeting, then Natsuki. Sayori, having glanced through the window to see Natsuki already inside, is unable to work enough courage to enter. Natsuki's been so distant with me. I was stupid to think she ever wanted to be friends. She only got excited because she got to share her manga. But aside from that, she doesn't even like me. I should just go home today. Sorry, but do you plan on going inside? No? Why? I'm sulking. Oh. Well, sorry for bothering you. Excuse me. No, don't leave me. Oh, I'll stay here then. I don't want to go in. I'm afraid of bothering Natsuki. I saw her at lunch today, so I waved and called out to her. But instead of saying hi, she just ran away from me. Really? Not bad. Hey! Sorry, that was a joke. It just sounded like something stupid that I would do. From anxiety. From anxiety? Well, I just don't like attention being drawn to myself. Oh. Well, that makes sense based on the person you are. But Natsuki isn't shy like that at all. I thought we were friends. But it feels like every day she's just trying to distance herself more instead of getting closer. It makes me feel like she was only spending time with me during the club because I was reading manga. But she doesn't actually want to be friends with me. Well, I feel like I'm missing a lot of context here. Was she in the middle of anything when you approached her? No, she was just walking around with her friends. Yuri pauses for a moment. How do I put this? So Yuri, you're very fond of your friends, right? You always want to be spending time with them, right? Of course, there's nothing more important to me. I mean, the best part of my days are always with my friends. Besides that, I really hate being alone, so... You hate being alone? Sayori nods. We are very different people. I cherish my time alone. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I think, well, if I was trying to have alone time, and it was being threatened with an interruption, then it would just not make me very happy. Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with Natsuki. She was already with her friends, not trying to be alone or anything. No, I think it's similar. Well, we're all friends in the club, but we all have our own lives outside the club as well. If you think about it, making new friends isn't some casual occurrence that happens on a daily basis. A friendship is an invitation to intertwine your lives together, but the capacity of which each people is ready might differ. There are friends who just have fun together, and those who talk every day and share every detail of their lives with each other. I think when establishing a friendship, it's important to consider the comfort level of each person. I mean, we don't really know much about Natsuki's life outside of the club. It could be that she simply needs to make friends at her own pace, rather than jump headfirst into a new commitment. But that means I was bothering her. I just want to be good friends with her, so I treated her like one. Was I actually hurting her? I don't know, I'm sorry. My insight was only really based on what I understand about my own needs. And Natsuki and I are completely different, so... Why was I so selfish? Even though that's all true, it means I still hurt her. I think I messed up. Yuri, with you, I think I was really careful to understand your needs when I was first becoming friends with you. But I wasn't careful at all with Natsuki. She already seemed really social. I just took control of everything instead of looking for the right balance. Now I hurt her, and she doesn't want to talk to me. How can I let myself do this? Sayori? I think that, well... There was one time you told me about the way I saw things in my head being different from reality. It's easy to automatically jump to the worst case scenario. But I think it's more like that Natsuki doesn't harbour any ill feelings towards you. So, I think if we were to really consider the situation and how it would cause someone to feel, I'm bad at this, I'm sorry. You're a lot better at me than when it comes to comforting and reassuring people. Suddenly, Sayori gives Yuri a gentle hug. You're the best, Yuri. I'm sorry for burdening me this. You're trying so hard for me. You're such a sweetheart. Sayori's calling everyone a sweetheart. I call people sweetheart. Oh, those beautiful ocean eyes of blue. You know exactly how to make me smile. It's not a burden. I enjoy listening to others, and my friends deserve happiness. Sayori beams. Well, I think I'm gonna give Natsuki some space. She should do what she wants. And if she does want to still be friends, then I'll learn her needs, and I'll match her boundaries. Yeah, I'm sure that's what's best. I wish I didn't feel so awful and guilty. It makes me feel so desperate, like I need to make it up to her by trying to make her happy. But that's not what she needs. I just have to tell myself that. It hurts, but I guess it means I still need to grow. I really want to grow as a person. If it's better for my friends, I want that. That's very mature of you, Sayori. Give me a second, guys. I gotta just check my mail. Well, I've got some plans tomorrow, so I just need to... I'm mature. Sayori hops up and down on her toes. So does that mean you'll be going home after all? Sayori shakes her head. I need to be here to show I'll respect her space. I'll just spend the club by myself today. Yuri nods in understanding. You can go in first. Okay. You're blocking the door. Oh! Sayori steps aside. By the way, before you enters the classroom, Sayori interjects. You said that you and Natsuki are completely different, but I don't really think that's true. I think you're actually really similar in a lot of ways. Yuri smiles and shakes her head. Sayori, that's absurd. You're very silly sometimes. Yuri turns and enters the club room. After a moment, Sayori follows. Oh. The club room is quiet. When Sayori walks in, Natsuki glances in her direction. Sayori smiles and gives Natsuki a quick wave before sitting down across the room. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Sayori decides it's best to continue the manga she was reading, so she pulls it out. However, it looks like Natsuki isn't reading today. She has a sheet of paper in front of her, and she's tapping a pen against the desk, staring at it. Oh, are we writing today? Monika speaks in a quiet voice, unwilling to disturb the peace of the club room. She kneels down at Natsuki's desk. Hey! Natsuki pulls the sheet closer to her and covers it with her arms. Sorry, I didn't mean to peek. Whatever. I just wanted to see how everything was going. It's fine. Natsuki replies dismissively. She glances over at Sayori, who is focused on her manga. Monika follows Natsuki's gaze. Glaze like a donut? Gaze. I think she's mad at me. How come? I'm busy right now. Ask me later. Monika falls silent. Natsuki looks back down at her paper. She inserts her hand away from the top margin, allowing Monika to see. It says, to Sayori. Understanding. Monika smiles. She places her hand on Natsuki's shoulder and whispers softly. I'm proud of you. Natsuki looks away, but makes no motion to remove Monika's hand. Monika gives Natsuki's shoulder a quick squeeze before standing back up and pulling away. The end of the club meeting passes. Yuri has already departed. So has Monika, after checking on Sayori and Natsuki, to ensure they wouldn't stay too late. Sayori was determined to finish her manga volume before heading out, since the end was approaching. However, with Natsuki also staying late for an unknown reason, a slight tension hangs in the air. After finishing the volume, Sayori brings it to the closet to put it away. She slides back onto the shelf while Natsuki watches. Then, Natsuki gets up and pulls it back in order to return it to its proper location. God damn it. Sorry, I didn't know where it was supposed to go. It's fine. The two fall silent again, avoiding eye contact. They both look like they're going to say something, but neither can break the silence. A moment passes. Well, I'll be on my way. See you tomorrow. Suri turns to hide her pained expression, then walks away from the closet. If there was any proof Natsuki no longer wanted to be friends, this was it. Defeated, Sayori carries herself out of the club room. Once in the hallway, Sayori takes a deep breath and hits her palm against her cheeks to clear her head a little. Suddenly Natsuki's stammering voice calls from behind. Natsuki? Startled, Sayori turns back around to face Natsuki. Natsuki fidgets anxiously. Oh, the minis! Sorry, that's going to happen every time there's a piece of art. I'm sorry. Natsuki fidgets and actually continues with a shaking voice. I have a lot of things to say. Me too. But you go first. Natsuki bites her lip and can't stay still. Well, first of all, she cuts herself short, struggling to continue. Trying to force the words out, she stamps her foot and hops up and down a little. I'm sorry for the things I did at lunch. I'm sorry for just being kind of mean lately. It's really hard for me to I'm not good with things that make me uncomfortable. Especially when it comes to like feelings and stuff. So, face burning, Natsuki clams up again. Instead of continuing, she simply holds a sheet of paper for Sayori to take. The best place in the world. I love my bedroom. It's full of bright colours and soft things. The sunlight shines in and makes everything sparkle. It's the best place in the world. It has all my treasures, all my books, my collections, my memories. All of my best dreams were born in this room. It's the best place in the world. It has all my secrets, all my failures, my fears, my feelings. Sometimes it feels so fragile that the door will break at the slightest touch, but it's still the best place in the world. But when someone knocks, I get scared. I brace my arms against its loose hinges. Please don't break. Don't come in. I'm not ready. It is my best place in the world. The knocking won't stop. I block the door with furniture. An eye peeks through the keyhole and I panic. I'm trapped in the best place in the world. I'm not ready to share my favourite place. I need to clean my secrets and make my bed to hide my nightmares. I need to touch them, to put them away, to see them again. I have so much to do and I'm scared. I'm not ready. But it's still my favourite place. I still want to share it. However long it takes, if you wait patiently, I'll eventually open the door. And I'll show you the best place in the world. Oh, manga gremlin, you sweet, sweet summer sunflower. It's a poem? But I thought, well, I sucked it up so that I could work things out for you. So just be happy about it. Please. Sayori smiles deeply from the bottom of her heart. I'm happier than I could express. I feel so awful, but I'm so happy that you would do this for me. I actually realized before the club meeting today that I'd made a mistake. I got so caught up in the chance to get close to you that I forgot about what you wanted. And that we should probably have different ways to make friends. About the friendship stuff. I mean, it's okay. I understand. You don't have to force yourself to talk about it. Your poem did a good job. So don't force yourself if you're not ready, okay? Natsuki nods. You don't have to feel like you did anything wrong. It was my fault. I'm sorry. I wasn't mad at you today or anything like that. I actually felt really guilty and wanted to give you some space. I was thinking it's silly that I approached you all the time. And that I should just let you approach me when you wanted to. Just whatever makes you comfortable. I'll respect that from now on. Friendships should always start with those things. With the right balance. Natsuki nods again. One thing about that? Well, I don't want to have to approach you all the time either. I just want it to be balanced, like you said. Sayori nods. I understand. We'll make sure of that together then. Well, anyway. Now that the two of them have found common ground, Natsuki finds it easier to speak more freely again. I'm not going to be like sharing my poems all the time now or anything like that. But I guess it wouldn't hurt to do once in a while. Only the best ones. So you better like them, because otherwise I might change my mind. I like anything you do, Natsuki. I was just saying, more importantly, I have to tell you about my new boyfriend. Huh? Oh, from the manga. Wait, I need to guess who it is. You definitely won't be able to guess. Oh my god, we have so much to talk about. Darn, I should have told you to say the last 2 chapters so I could see your reaction to the big reveal. Aw, you wanted to enjoy it with me? That's so cute. Oh, shush. Headcanoning, and I'm sorry, but I have to do it. The character she liked bears resemblance to Haruki. I have to do it. And oh my god, I've just realised we're unlocking the new artwork. Oh. Sorry, I don't know what that was. That is so cute. That is so cute. Oh my god. I named my pen the Expression Express. My feelings are bored with a ticket to you. No rooms for stammers, no lies, no extra stops, no compromise. Stations screaming by, attendants saying hi. 1 ticket to you, please and thank you. Take a headphone and a doze. No bump in the rails, just a thump in my heart. And a loop in my letters and clouds in the sky and dream in your eyes. Hey, wake up. The train's arrived. Expression Express. Destination you. Choo-choo. So that means these other 3 poems belong to the other girls. Right? Oh, look at the babies. I love them. So we have 3 more here, and then we have 2 last pictures. And some secrets. We also have a new mail. Having run the control simulation for a while, it's evidence that a certain character is missing from any mention or appearance. This makes me speculate that Monika's meddling is less clumsy than we think, because she would have had to manufacture this character herself as a way of forcing interaction between her and the user. Could that be why the character has such limited and different personality traits, or am I reading too much into this? I'll open an issue to start tracking info on originally nominated as characters appearing. Well, that's going to be a lot to do. But guys, I'm afraid we're going to be ending the stream here today. And tomorrow, we're doing an unscheduled stream to finish this with the last 3 side stories. Okay? Hope you guys don't mind. We'll do 1, 2, 3 next time. We'll do them in the right order. But yeah, unfortunately, we are going to pull an ending here. Let's see currently who is live in my list. Mushy's live. Mushy Mallow's going to get like a lot. We're going to raid off into Fibnek, you know, the dad of Twitch, the good man himself. So please go and show him some love. He's currently playing. What is it he's playing? He's playing Shadow of the Colossus again this week. So please go show him some love. I will see you guys next time. Thank you all for joining. My name has been Chrono Sweets of the Arcadia Network. I'll see you guys next time. I'm signing out.